Right then, Chelsea fined by UEFA and a huge Ryan Cherky update.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy, with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that Chelsea are paying UEFA money, and very, very interesting of how they're talking about UEFA. Little kitty faces. And also, Nathan Gissing of Dimarzio reporting inclination publication is talking about Ryan Cherky, or has spoken about Ryan Cherky rather interestingly on Alex Goldberg's podcast, The Byline. Great podcast. I was on it recently. We're going to get into that today. Lots to talk about. Of course, there's developing stories all the time on Chelsea, and hence why I upload multiple times a day, so consider joining the fun. Also, I'm on social media platforms at Football Yannick on Threads and Instagram, but I've recently joined TikTok because I'm going to start using that for some content, so you can watch it in your hands at football.yannick, I believe, on TikTok, rather than just Football Yannick, one word, like Instagram and Threads. So do check me out on TikTok, yo. Young and hip. Football Yannick in your face on TikTok. That's how it works, isn't it? Alright, then let's start off with this statement, shall we? Club statement on UEFA decision coming from the official Chelsea website. Chelsea ownership's group has completed... so this is a little bit of like a backstory. Chelsea FC's ownership group, Blueco, completed its purchase of the club on the 30th of May 2022 during a thorough and due diligence process prior to the completion of the purchase, which is true. If you remember, because the club was seized from Roman Abramovich, it wasn't just like highest bidder wins. It was theoretically the best ownership for the club, because the club is an important asset to the UK, to Britain, to England. So who's going to be the best guy? And but with that as well, it's not just like, we'll wave the Saudis through for Newcastle because they've got so much money, baby. No, we're going to make sure this is all squeaky clean, which they did. The ownership group became aware of potentially incomplete financial reporting concerning historical transactions during the previous club's ownership, Roman Abramovich. Immediately following the completion of the purchase, Chelsea self-reported these matters to UEFA, which is good, right? You want your club to be above the book. You don't want any of these, Man City 115 charges, though Man City will probably walk away squeaky clean because they had evidence against foul play from UEFA, the people in question here, and UEFA tried to ban them from the Champions League, but their big lawyers and technicalities got them off. So maybe there is no justice in this world. Look, we'll read on what they say in a second, but it's proper so they've just bought it UEFA, sir, teacher, we've seen an irregularity here. It wasn't us. I mean, I sound like I'm taking the Mickey, the Michael, but I'm not really. This is what you want to do. They, Bowley went into Chelsea ownership with his eyes wide open, financial fair play, he's starting to grit his teeth, show his teeth. Everything needs to be done by the book, not behind the book, by the book. Stay in front of the book, I'd recommend. Them assessing Chelsea's books, they found this, and they reported it immediately, which is good, right? Chelsea have fully it's proper kiss ass. So Chelsea have fully cooperated and assisted UEFA with its investigation of these matters, and following an analysis by UEFA, club financial control body, the club has entered into a settlement agreement with UEFA. Under that settlement, the club will pay a financial contribution of 10 million euros to UEFA as one fixed payment. Right. It sounds like a bribe, doesn't it? I don't know. Well, not bribe, because it's all out in the open and above board, but a financial contribution. That's the kind of terminology, right, where you go traveling somewhere in the world and you meet the respective dodgy police and they say they'll let you go if you offer them a financial contribution. That's where I've heard that term before. So it's a little bit like, yeah, financial contribution. Okay, how much money do you want? I mean, the FA, UEFA, they are all respectfully, no, you know what, no respect, financially dodgy AF. And this is the same. So we've given them 10 million euros. Look, let's read on and we can wrap this bit up. In accordance to the club's ownership group's core principles of full compliance and transparency with its regulators, aka we've seen what's happening with like Man City and we cannot be asked with that. We are grateful that this case has been concluded by proactive disclosure of information to UEFA. So they're basically patting themselves on the back like, we did the right thing, we were really assertive, we sorted it out quickly and it's done. Closure, completion, fini. You know? Under that settlement, the club is to pay, we read that bit, resolves the reported matters. A settlement that fully resolves the reported matters. And then here we go. Here's that last line. We wish to place on record our gratitude to UEFA for its consideration of this matter. Oh, thank you so much for taking a financial contribution bribe, money off us that we told you about. Oh, it's so nice. Chelsea greatly values its relationship with UEFA. And UEFA, and looks forward to building on that relationship for years to come. Look, I'm taking the mickey here, and obviously it's a good thing. Keep them sweet, you'll have no problems, mate. That's ultimately what you got to do. And they're not only just keeping them sweet, self-reporting slight irregularities in the financial books, but also being like, yeah, should we use some money? Let's give you a bit of money, shall we? You know, like that. But ultimately, you know, what's 10 million euros? It's 8.5 million pounds. You know, it's what we quoted for Callum Hudson-Odoi originally, and it's for, like, as far as Chelsea are concerned, Blueco, the new ownership, this will be, you know, cutting the final ties, dotting the I's and crossing the T's as well with the previous ownership, and any problems. They knew controversy came, but they washed their hands of that. That was nothing to do with them. They knew the curse of Romelu Lukaku was with them. They knew that. They came into the club with their eyes open. And after purchase, they found this when scaling through the books, which is good work. It's good work from Chelsea. You know, I'm being silly, but it is good. They've done that. And they've said, look, you want to what, 10 million euros? Yeah, done, right. Now they can all sit in the boardroom, sigh of relief. The echoes, touch wood, the echoes of ghosts past of the previous ownership and perhaps the negative elements of that have now been gone, dealt with, or are being dealt with, aka Romelu Lukaku. Which, by the way, on a slight fleeting tangent, a loan to Juve, that is just not how I wanted this to go. We don't know for sure, of course. Keep it locked in the channel, and I will update you on that story as it develops. But, you know, at least transparency, it's like, look, UEFA, we do whatever you want, and we will continue to do it. Here's some money, and we're going to tell the people we've done it. We're going to nail our colours to that UEFA mast, and we love you, baby. Especially now our American owners know that the Super League failed. Oh, God, we need to stay in favour with UEFA. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, I'm pleased with the owners for that. Well done. Well done. Well done. It's a bit lame in terms of, like, you know, the presentation and assertion of our relationship and developing relationship with our love UEFA, but still. Good thing to do. It's done. There you go. Let me know what you think down below, baby. Now, let's get to the high-octane dopamine-hitting stories of transfers, man. Of course, Chelsea trying to sign Moises Caicedo played last night. Apparently played very well, though they lost to Newcastle 2-1 in whatever that Premier League competition is in the United States of present. We play Fulham on Sunday, I believe. I will watch that game because the kickoff time isn't dumb. So I will do a reaction to the match here on the channel. So hopefully you can look forward to that, should you appeal for the inclination. Alright, mate. So Nathan Gissing works with Demarcio, young reporter. He's very young, actually. One of my mates' channel, Alex Goldberg, on the byline, and cited on social media that... I guess Alex spoke to him about Ryan Cherky, of course, the 19-year-old cam right winger from Lyon, who we were considering in our trio of targets, or linked players, should we say. Ryan Cherky, Michael Elise, and Mohamed Kudus. And as things develop, it does seem like potentially Kudus is the one bubbling to the top. We will keep an eye on that. Of course, another story we'll cover here. But I know Alex is a huge fan of Ryan Cherky from speaking to him recently, and he obviously posed this question to Nathan about that, and Nathan said this, and bearing in mind he's got good information. I am told Chelsea are not the biggest fans of Ryan Cherky's attitude. Sassy biatch. And maybe that's just and Chelsea now. And then he goes on to assert on social media himself that Cherky to Chelsea is off. It's not happening. It's done. Well, fair enough. I mean, many of you who are of the inclination of Ryan Cherky will be disappointed. It looks like this transfer is now off. But at the same time, you have to understand that many of the reasons, when we had these loose links to Kylian Mbappe, or PSG wanting Chelsea to bid for Kylian Mbappe, especially he's refused to meet the Saudi league teams, and they don't want to leave them for free to Real Madrid next summer. So so interesting, that story. How is that going to go? Interesting. So they wanted Chelsea to bid, but many people were like, no, attitude and all this kind of stuff. And ultimately, obviously, it's massively different players, Ryan Cherky and Kylian Mbappe, certainly in profile. But we did a really, I think, a good video on Ben Chilwell about how he's sort of claiming for the captaincy and stuff. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. We react to his interview. It's really, really impressive. And that kind of attitude, that kind of demeanour, that kind of professionalism and dedication is what we want the Chelsea team to be riddled with, front to back, top to bottom, side to side. And if you've got this youngster who would represent someone with a poor attitude, and this is massive, by the way, this is what clubs do. They scout players on their psychological profile just as much as their, physical and athletic and technical ability. Because you've got to be one of the boys. You can't come in and be, because then you'll end up like, what's his name? Hatem Ben Arfa or someone like that. Do you know what I mean? Like a super talented guy, doesn't apply himself. There's like loads of options, loads of examples of that kind of player. And if you truly want to build this Project 2030 team by Blue Co here at Chelsea, you want to make sure these young kids like these Angelo Gabriels, these Andre Santoses, these respectful, God-fearing South Americans will be part of a team and they'll work hard and they're all going to pull together for Mauricio Pochettino and work really hard. They've all got to have the correct attitude, the dedication, the application, the professionalism. And if Chelsea do not like Ryan Cherky's attitude, and that is the reason why he is off and he's not coming to Chelsea, then I endorse it, man. I absolutely, I'm with it. And you should too. It's not just about vibes and technical ability, it's about team building and a collective psychology almost, Like, you couldn't get anyone a bit sassy in a Guardiola team. It just doesn't happen, Similarly, Jurgen Klopp. And similarly, like any of the Chelsea great teams of old, big, strong characters, but no one with a bad attitude. You got to have these sort of exemplary figures like Lampard, JT, all of them, I'm trying to think even whether they're understated like Kante or they're boisterous like Diego Costa, they need to have a good attitude. But I don't know if Diego Costa was the best example for a player not having a bad attitude. Still, you see what I'm saying. So where does this leave us? Chelsea, of course, want to sign the midfielders. They want to sign the Cam. Will it be Kudus? Will it be Elise? Will it be someone else that pops out the ether? Who knows? And the midfield battle goes on. That story will develop as well, I am sure. So I want to put it out to you guys. What do you think? What do you think of the stuff I spoke in the video? How do you feel about UEFA and Chelsea? Do you think that's good that we sewed that up and did it so publicly? With a statement? Probably is, but I want to hear your opinions on that. And what do you think about Chelsea no longer wanting Ryan Cherky because they have a problem with his attitude? Comment down below. I'll be very keen to hear your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the subject matter. Of course, there'll be more uploads today, so keep it locked, turn the bell on, and it's at Football Yannick on social media, or if it's TikTok, it's at football.yannick. YANNICK. Hey, that's me, baby girl. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Peace.